We are talking about 7 challenges that strong women face. This is the subject. 7 challenges that strong women face. These challenges that strong women face, in one way or another, they also affect the men around them. No doubt about it. And the main point here is not to make women feel somehow under pressure for being strong or criticize. That's not the point. The point is helping strong women to learn how to deal with their strength. And also to help the men learn how to deal with strong women, the strong women that he has in his family, be his mother, be his sisters, and of course, above all else, the wife. So what are the 7 challenges that strong women face? I will go through the 7 challenges quickly, and then we'll point a few of these challenges today, and we'll carry on next week, okay? The first of the 7 strong challenges that women face is this one: to find a man equal or stronger. Equal or stronger. This is the first of the 7 challenges. Second, to create space for a man in her life. Third, to trust that a man will not disappoint nor let her down. 4, to wait for her husband to take action. 5, to admire a man, especially those who approach her, in case of the single women. To be fulfilled in love. And 7, to recognize when she is wrong. Okay, now, talking about the first challenge, to find a man equal or stronger. It is a fact that worldwide, it's not something that happens only, in isolated cases. It's a fact. Women are not only finding their space in society, doing more than just being a mother and a housewife. Women are today occupying positions of authority, positions of relevance. We have women that are CEOs. We have women that run the entire house. We have women that are directors, company directors, women that are reaching out places, jobs, responsibilities that 10, 20, 30 years ago, only men would occupy these positions. Now, with the same proportion, or at the same proportion, women are gaining space in our society, we see also a reduction of quality in men. What am I trying to say? Time and again, you have problems with men not wanting to study. Dropouts, school dropouts. Men that achieve age, but the mentality remains as a boy. Sometimes you see 30-year-old men just playing video games all day long. They are 30 years old already, and they just want to play video games. This shift that is happening in society is causing this challenge for many women. Because in as much as we see women developing, growing, gaining space, we see men in general. This is not something that happens to every man, but is happening. We know that for a fact. Everywhere in the world we see this. Men that are not growing, that are not following, that are not progressing, developing at the same pace, at the same level of many women. So many strong women are finding hard to get to know someone, get to know a man that is equally strong or even stronger than her.
And in the other side, we also see many women that are so dedicated to our jobs and to their families, to their jobs, that they end up creating in their minds an image of a man that is a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't achieve that, he's not well and good enough for her. So that's what is in her mind. She wants to achieve a good career, a successful family, successful name. And that's the same way she wants a man. So she's running and doing all that she can, putting all her strength in her work, studies, that her relationships is like, oh, it's not enough. He's not here. Because what she created doesn't exist. So sometimes she's fighting so hard to support her family, to support her life, that a man needs to go beyond of his expectations. And that's not right as well.
Yeah, because you need to understand one thing. We are not equal. Men and women are not equal. We complete each other. So what the woman lacks, she finds in a man. What the man lacks, he finds in a woman. And when women have a difficulty understanding this problem happens. Say, for example, there are women who say like this: I will never marry a man who earns less money than I do. So she already creates a barrier. Perhaps she went to university, she has a university degree, and she wants to find someone who also has a university degree. So she keeps raising the bar, raising the bar, raising the bar. And the higher she places the bar, the lower the number of candidates she will have available. Of course, there are two extremes: the bar too high, the bar too low. She needs to find equilibrium, balance in this. And then, because of the first challenge, comes the second one. Most women don't know how to create a space for a man in her life. Most women don't know how to do that, because for circumstantial situations that happened in her life, circumstances that forced her to grow up before even her time. Some women in her early 15s, 16s, 18s, they had already to go to work. They had to learn how to take care of a house because the father wasn't present or because the mother wasn't present. Young women at an early age and stage of her life or their lives, they had to take over the responsibility. So they learned how to live an independent life. And because of this independence or independent life, many of them don't see the need of a man in their lives.
That's why it needs to have a balance. Like everything in our body has to have a balance, otherwise it gets sick. And you don't take care of your hair the same way that you brush your teeth, the same way that you take shower. It's all different, but you see every day you do it so naturally. You know how to live with your body. The same way is a relationship. Yes, you can be successful. Yes, you can have a great family, job, career, but you can also have a great relationship. You need to strike a balance.
Yeah, if you have, and I speak here especially with the single women, if perhaps you face this challenge, create a space for a man in your life. The mindset is, well, I don't need a man because I have my job, I have my career, I have my own money. I've been living like this since I can remember. However, God is the one who said it's not good for man to be alone. So he created the woman. And Adam was live in paradise. Paradise had no problems. Everything was perfect. And in a place where everything was perfect, God said, it's not good for man to be alone. That's why he created the woman. And if it's not good for man to be alone, and the woman was created for this purpose, to fulfill a need of a man, she too needs a man in her life. Just as a man needs a woman in his life, a woman needs a man in her life. You may be successful in everything you do, woman, but in the end of the day, you will know there's a part of your life that is not fulfilled yet. And I'm not saying this because there are many women who think like this. Oh, you know what? I just need a man to have a child. That's all I need. Okay? So I'll have someone, so I may have a child. I may fulfill my dream of being a mother, of becoming a mother. That's what I need a man for. No. It's much beyond that. It's part of our fabric. It's part of who we are. God created us in a way that one fulfills the other. One completes the life of the other. Amen? Then it comes to the third challenge. To trust that a man will not disappoint nor let her down. This becomes more difficult when women have had bad experiences. Betrayal, mistrust, disappointment. Many women have been raped. Many women have been abused. Many women have had bad experiences. We've heard cases of women who said, every man in my life made me suffer. Beginning with my father. The suffering began already at home. And then the first boyfriend. And then the second boyfriend. And then the father of her child. So every time she thinks about the subject, she pushes it away. She simply shuns away the idea of a happy marriage because every experience she had with every man in her life, be it father, be it a boyfriend, be it any man in her life, all bad experiences.
I'm going to give an example here that I just remember. Sometimes people say like this, you know what? I can't drink coffee because it hurts. Every time I drink coffee, I have a heartburn. It's not good. And then we find out that the problem is not in the coffee, but is in the quality of the coffee. If you buy a good quality coffee, you won't feel like that. Some people put a lot of sugar in the coffee because they say it's too bitter. I don't like coffee. I can't take coffee without sugar. The problem is not the coffee, is the quality. Because when you buy a good quality, you will see you don't even need to put sugar.
So if you take this and you think about it, you know, perhaps this is the greatest barrier for a single woman to overcome. The fear of trusting. Now, how do you deal with it and overcome this fear? The problem of trust. Like I said, every man in my life made me suffer. But think about these men. Maybe your father was a drunkard, a womanizer, an abuser, but your mother chose to marry him anyways. Understand? Yes or no? Maybe your first boyfriend, you were 15, he was already 18, 19, 20. He just took advantage of you. He saw that you were vulnerable, and he took advantage. And you wanted to have a boyfriend older than you. Many young women, they want to have a boyfriend older than they. Yes or no? To show off that they have a boyfriend. So you suffered. Of course, if you get involved with a man who is a drug user, he will make you suffer. An alcoholic, he will make you suffer. It's what Marcia just said. It's the quality of the person. And this is something we must be careful about and choose well. The same thing applies for men. Many men say, you know what? Women these days, they just want to take advantage. They just want to use us. They just want us to pay the bills. But what kind of woman are you looking for? And you see, most of failed relationships are relationships that started, for example, in a nightclub. Relationships that started wrong already. From the get-go, it was wrong. And people around you could see that, look, this is not going to work. Can't you see that you two have nothing in common or very little in common? But the heart spoke louder, and there she went, or there he went, and then came the problems. That's why we always say intelligent love has nothing to do with feelings. It has to do with reasoning, spirit, intelligence. Amen? And that's what we seek for to learn here every Thursday. Moving on. Fourth challenge, to wait for her husband to take action. Now we are moving towards the married couples. Strong woman, strong wife, weak husband. Or that kind of man that never takes action, never takes initiative. If you are married to a lazy man, sorry, and in the end of the day, you have to take initiative for everything, no? There is a dripping pipe, and you keep telling him, look, there is a dripping pipe. The pipe is dripping. We have a leakage. Okay, I'll fix it. Comes Sunday, comes Saturday, I'll fix it. Next week, I'll fix it. And he never fixes it. So you end up going there and fixing the pipe or getting someone to fix it. Maybe you have a hard time dealing with men like this. And your husband just might be this kind of man. So what you have to do? You have to learn how to deal with his deficiencies. Just complaining about it is not going to help.
Yeah, when you have a problem, now you have to understand you can't look at each other. Otherwise, you'll be fighting. You need to focus on how to deal with this problem together. Because if you keep saying, look, it's your fault, and he says it's your fault, the list is endless. You will always have something to say, and he will always have something to say. So this doesn't work. It only works when you both say, look, let's put our weapons down, and let's talk about what can we do to solve the situation. And sometimes, I'll talk with the women, your husband might be slower than you, not because he wants. Maybe it's because he needs medical assistance. Maybe he needs vitamins. Maybe he needs the doctor to look at him. Because, men to go to the doctor, we have to push him. So maybe you have to push your husband. Maybe he's missing some vitamins. So don't start blaming him all the time. You don't do it. It's your fault. It's your fault because the kids are behaving like this. It's your fault. The house is missing this. It's your fault. You only want to be sleeping. So be careful. See how you can help, not how can you destroy him even more.
Yeah, words have power. Never forget that. Words have power. They can build, they can destroy. Okay? Number 5, another challenge of strong women, to admire a man, especially those who approach her. Again, this applies to single women. Some women, like I said before, they raise the bar so high that they become inaccessible. Women that men look at them and they fear them. They fear them. They fear saying hello. Fear in what way? If I speak to her, she will just, push me away. I don't think I could have a wife like her. Why? Because she's up here. And when she, in her mind, places herself up here, she starts looking at people, looking down on people, especially the man that tries to approach her. Then, of course, the tendency is to stay alone up here. So, a little bit of humility goes a long way. Amen? Number 6, the challenge to be fulfilled in love. In most cases, this is not a rule, but we see this happening more often than not. In most cases, very successful women tend to live lonely lives. Why? Exactly because they think they don't need a man, or they are that kind of unapproachable woman, or simply because they don't believe they can find someone that is equal to her, that can match, that can fulfill her as a husband. But again, in the end of the day, both men and women should learn that this is not the way God created us, to be alone. God created us to be a couple, to be partners, to be together. The two must become one. When you have two, you have one. When you have one, you have nothing. Not yet. You're not yet fulfilled. You're not yet complete. Amen? The 7th challenge, to recognize when she is wrong. I'll leave it with you.
Yes, it's not easy. when we stop to say, yes, I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Because really, women are very proud. So we learn how to say, no, I will do it. Actually, even if you are alone, I've learned this. Like if you are 2 people in a house and then something happens, something fell, something is not in the same place, you're usually going to blame somebody else.
Me.
But then when you are alone, the person is not there, and you see the thing moved, it's continued happening, then you realize, oh my goodness, it was me all the time. I was the one doing this and doing that. I'm so sorry. So it's not easy for us to say, I am sorry. But sometimes, and I tell you, most of the times, I am sorry, this small word can change everything. So it's better for you to step down, and say, I am sorry, even if you still think you are right, then you continue imposing, say, no, you are wrong, I am right, and this and that. So what is better here? Me saying, I am right, and being alone and hurting him, or I am saying, look, I'm sorry, leave it. I don't care.
Yeah, the question is, what do you want? Do you want to win the argument, or do you want peace? Understand? Because most cases, people want to win the argument. Many men are also like this. No, I am right and you wrong, and I don't care. And they want their respective wives to accept that they are right, even when they are wrong. So, this thing of right and wrong is one point of contention that only creates more problems. That it doesn't unite, it separates. I understand, yes or no? So, when you say sorry, the argument is over. the argument is over. And once again, you are at peace. So it's not about who wins and who loses in the argument, because here there are no winners and losers. If I win an argument and she loses it, both of us have lost because we were not able to come to an agreement. It's not supposed to be a relationship of arguments. It's supposed to be a relationship of good communication and agreement. Sometimes we will agree to disagree. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it will happen. Let's just agree to disagree. But in most cases, a little bit of humility, not just from the part of the woman. And I must say, it's harder for women to accept that they are wrong than for men. I have dealt and I deal on daily basis with men and women, pastors and their respective wives. And it's much easier to deal with men than to deal with women. And when I have to correct a pastor, I come, call him and say, look, you did this wrong. Don't do this again. Yes, Bishop. Okay, I'm sorry. Finish. But when I have to sit down with a woman, look, this is not the way, belele, blah, blah, blah. We have to choose the right words, otherwise they go out crying. And in the end of the day, sometimes they may leave the office thinking that I am wrong and they are right. They will not say because they are in front of the bishop, but in their mind, no, the bishop doesn't understand me. This is right, even though they are wrong. So, striking this balance between husband and wife is necessary to have peace at home. Amen? Okay? And here comes two Bible passages to help you see where this is all coming from. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11, that says, nevertheless, neither is man independent of woman, nor woman independent of man, in the Lord. Take note of that. In the Lord. A marriage done in the Lord, a marriage made in the Lord is like here, is like this passage. I am not independent of her. She's not independent of me. I depend on her. She depends on me. Amen? One completes the other. One fulfills the other. We are like two parts of the same object. When one part is missing, the object is incomplete. So, if I think I don't need her, I'm wrong. If she thinks she doesn't need me, she's wrong. That is how marriage in the Lord is. Not marriage out there. Out there, people think in many different ways. Yes or no? You know how it is. But in the Lord, that's how a successful relationship is supposed to be. One depending on the other, and both depending on God. Amen? Okay. And to finalize, Proverbs 31:11. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. So, women, if you are wise, your husband will trust in you, will trust in your choices, will trust in your decisions, and you have peace. Amen? Are you understanding, yes or no? And this is the level of commitment that both of you must aim to achieve. Amen? Next week, Thursday, we will continue the subject. We will explore the subject, and there is much more to learn, because we also have the cases of strong men who do not know how to appreciate the woman that is next to them. So we will also come to that. Amen?